I think we are officially live. So hello to everyone who's watching. We'll kind of wait a couple of minutes for people to start tuning in, and then we can kind of get started with what we're going to learn today. But before we do that, I'll just talk a little bit about what we're going to learn today. And yeah, just say hi if you are tuning in from somewhere that's not Chicago. The studio right here, we're located in Chicago, so if you are not local to Chicago, let us know where you're from and where you're tuning in from. What we're going to do today, so my name is Megan. If you've been watching the past live streams that we've done, I've done quite a few of those with Allie, who will be joining us in a second. So today we're going to work on a couple different things, kind of some tricks and tips and different things for couple dancing and specifically for like parties or events or weddings. If you're prepping for a wedding or anything like that, we're going to be focusing on some tricks, some leans, some dips, and some lifts. So we'll start with what we call a lean, and that's a very simple way to kind of add a little bit of pizzazz to the dance that you're doing. We'll also do a dip, which is really good to finish a dance. It's a really nice closer. And then the last thing that we'll do is called a basket lift. And this lift is super easy, one of the easiest to do, and you can do it either as a nice highlight in the middle of your dance, if you have space on your dance floor, or if it's your first dance for your wedding. It's also a great closer again. So when you're finishing up your dance and it's about time for the audience to go crazy, you'll go ahead and throw this basket lift, and that can fade out the music just a little bit. So, like I said, we'll get started in a second. We're just going to wait for Allie, but if you are just tuning in, feel free to let us know where you're tuning in from. Like I said, the studio is local to Chicago, Illinois, and we love to do specifically wedding dances, but we do a lot more than that. We teach a lot of different kinds of social dancing and ballroom dancing. And you can get on our website. Let me go, I think it's actually down there, weddingfirstdancelessons.com. Check out our online program. And if you are tuning in from our date night program, then welcome. We love our date night program students. So you can go ahead and tune into our date night program on our website, weddingfirstdancelessons.com. And and check that out, because that offers a variety of great styles that you can learn all from the comfort of your own home. And you also get access to these live streams, and you get access to exclusive live streams as well that we actually do not post on our YouTube. Those are exclusive to the online program. But for today, we're going to show off our skills and start with what we call a lean. So, like I said before, my name is Megan. This is Allie. If you have watched live streams in the past, you have definitely seen us around. Let us know where you're from if you're just now tuning in. And let's get started with our first trick, which is called a lean. Now, lean is a very simple way to spice up your dance. It's good for like an intro or an ending, or you can also just throw one in the middle of your dance if you feel comfortable. We're going to take this out of what we call a cradle. So what we're going to do first, I'll go ahead and demonstrate first, and then we'll break it down. We're going to get into our cradle position first. That way we're really close together, and then we will do this lean. Very easy, very simple. So starting with that cradle position, for my leaders, you're going to have your follower right in front of you. And this will be, if you're doing any sort of dancing at an event or a wedding, you will most likely be in a dance frame. So the first thing you want to do is send your partner away from you, just to create a little bit of space. Your feet will not move during this, so you can just stay in place, send your partner back, and then you're going to draw a counterclockwise circle over your partner's head, and hold on with this right hand and create some space on your right side for your partner. For my followers, when you're going through this, what you're going to want to do is take that back step away from your leader, and then while your leader is drawing that circle, you're just going to step in with that right foot right next to them. So we'll go ahead and just do that cradle part. So if we're in a dance frame and we're doing whatever, a foxtrot, a waltz, we're going to send our partner out. I'm going to draw a counterclockwise circle over Allie's head, and we're going to get into the side-by-side position. Notice that we are staying connected the entire time, so I don't want to let go with either hand. We're going to hold on the entire time we're in this. Then you'll notice that we are standing in a line with each other. Allie's not in front of me at all. We are touching hips right here. This is very, very important for this lean. We want to make sure that we are very close together and we are touching for our hips, our chests, and we want our feet as close together as possible. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this lean before we do it again real quick for my leaders. When you are in this lean, I'll turn around so you can see me, you are going to just take that left foot out to the side and lunge ever so slightly. You don't want to lunge like you would if you were at the gym or if you were working out, because that usually involves placing your hip far away from your partner. So I want to keep my hip connected to my partner in this. Keeping this plane nice and clear so that way my follower has a lot of surface area and they feel really comfortable when we're doing this lean. So again, just taking that side step with that left leg. If you feel more comfortable, you're more than welcome to also do this on the right side. So when we do this on the left side though, which is what we'll demonstrate today, we're going to take that side step, again, keeping that side clear, roll our shoulders back, and then we can just come up. We can just slide that foot out and back up. We don't want to take a smaller step and then kind of like shift out like this just because it's going to be a bumpy ride for our follower. So you want to slide that foot out and then give it weight and then bring it back in. For my followers, it is going to take a lot of trust, the lean. So when we're in our cradle position, you just need to make sure you're staying connected with your partner's hips. Don't roll those shoulders forward. Roll them back. Stay connected with your partner. And if you feel comfortable, you can even bring that right leg up. The left leg needs to stay close to the leaders for that stability, but right leg can either come up, it can stay down, or it can also go out if you feel comfortable. Whatever makes you feel great. Whatever makes you feel good. So let's go ahead and do just this lean portion, and we'll go ahead and show you what this looks like. So again, I'm going to take this side step with my left leg, and as I do this, Allie's just going to put her weight on me, and I'm just going to slide out. The more dramatic I want to make this, the deeper I'm going to slide. But for today, I'm just going to, take it easy, and then we can pop right back out of that. We're going to rewind. We're going to do this all for you from the cradle position. So if we're dancing, we're in our dance frame, doing our box step, doing our waltz. We send our partner out. We draw that counterclockwise circle up and over our partner's head. We take that side step. We can look at our partner and smile. Come on up. And then from there, we can unwind and get back in our dance frame and keep going. So we're going to show you this from one other angle. We're going to show you this from the back so you can see it. But also, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Some of these things are a little simpler than others, so if you have any questions specifically about the lean, let us know. And we'll go ahead and finish this lean, show you from a different angle, and then we'll go ahead and move on to our dip. So from the back, again, we're going to start in our dance frame. And then I'm going to send Allie out away from me. I'm going to bring her back into this cradle position, and then I'm going to do my lean. And again, we'll unwind from there and get in our dance frame. And then we can keep going with whatever we're doing. So again, a nice little way to open our dance if we want to do this lean at the top and then get into frame and start dancing. You can also just do a little send out and do this lean in the middle of the dance. It's also a great way to end a dance. If you are doing this lean, make sure you practice it a lot so that your partner gets comfortable with it, because if we just throw it, it can feel very unstable, and if we don't have that trust from our follower, it could potentially fall apart and be disastrous. We do not want that to happen. So make sure you're communicating with your follower that you are going into this lean. And I would say start verbally communicating, and then if you get comfortable enough to just communicate with your movements, totally fine, but start with a verbal communication to your follower. Hey, we're doing the lean. Just so your follower is comfortable at first and gets used to the motion of that lean and that cradle position. Let's go ahead, and if no one has any questions, we're going to move on to our dip. So the dip is something that a lot of couples absolutely love to end their first dance with. You can also throw a couple in the middle if you'd like, or even open a dance with a dip, but traditionally, this is our big finish. So we're gonna start very similarly where we're in our frame and we're gonna do a send out. We're going to come into what we call a hug position, and then we will get into this final dip. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my leader's footwork and my leader's body position in this dip. And I'll go ahead and turn around so you can see. So just like we did for the cradle, we're going to do a little send out. When we bring our partner back in, we're putting our partner's hands right on our shoulders, and then we'll get into our lean or our dip position. We're gonna slide that right foot out, left leg is gonna be bent, and then we wanna hold our partner like we're giving them a hug. Something to keep in mind, and I'll show you this position from the front as well, something to keep in mind, your follower is going to get the most support from this arm right here. So you wanna make sure that your left elbow is raised in this dip, and you wanna make sure that this hand is around their waist, but you can also have it out to the side, you can have it behind your back, whatever you feel most comfortable doing, the left arm is going to be the support system. I like to tell a lot of my couples that it's the difference between, or I should say, getting into this dip, it's the difference between sitting on a stool versus sitting on a chair. So that extra support is coming from the leader, but the follower also should be able to hold their own in this dip. So let's talk about the follower position. So I'll do this from kind of the back again. My follower, your right leg is bent, left leg is straight out in front of you. What we want to do in this dip is actually sit into it a little bit. So it can be very tempting to just throw your body back into this dip because you're like, oh, my leader's got me, and you can just throw yourself into it, but it's going to hurt your back. It's going to make your leader feel a little chaotic, so we want to make sure that we are holding our own, sitting into this dip, and then we can roll our shoulders out. It's almost like someone is coming up behind you and pulling on this shoulder. The effect that we want is a nice clean line. So I want a line from the tip of my toe to my shoulder. And it creates this nice clean line. It does not have to be super, super big. The more we want from this dip, the deeper we sit. That's how we get more dramatic. Also, the more you can rotate your body out. For my followers, with your arms, your right arm is going to be wrapped around your leader. Left arm can either be out to the side, it can be on your leader's hand, which is going to be on your waist, or whatever else you would like to do with your arm. Your left arm is more of an accessory, whereas the right arm is holding onto your leader for that extra support. So we'll go ahead and just start with the dip position, and then we'll rewind and talk about getting into it. So for this dip position, I'll have Allie in front of me, and then we're going to, like I said, start in a hug. So I'm gonna put her hands on my shoulders, I'm gonna put my hands around her waist, we're gonna rotate, and then get into this dip position. And followers, the more comfortable you feel, the more you can kind of lean back into your leaders, and their elbows should be there for the additional support. And again, let's show this from a different angle so we can see this elbow over here. So if I have Allie in this hug position and we go over this way, I want to keep this elbow up because if it's down here, then she has no support. And then she's going to be clinging onto my neck for dear life because she's afraid that I'm going to drop her. So followers, trust your leader. When you feel that support there, go ahead and lean into it. Relax your hand onto the back of their, kind of the back of their neck and their shoulder area. You don't want to be wrapped around and clawing into your leader's neck. It will hurt and it doesn't look good. So we want to make sure that we are doing nice, safe dips. Now we're going to rewind. We're going to get into this dip. So starting in our dance frame, just like we did for our lean, we are going to push out. Allie's going to take a couple steps towards me. I'm going to put her arms on my shoulders, and then we can relax into our dip. Nice. And then from there, when you come up, followers, you can just step out. And leaders, you just want to give a little bit of support to help your follower up out of that. Let's go ahead and do that one more time from a different angle. We'll do it from behind so you can see it. So if we are in our dance frame, we're going to do that send out. I'm bringing Allie's hands to my shoulders, and we dip. Nice. So again, great way to end a dance, typically a big finish moment. And if you are using this to end your dance, you want to hold it for a couple of seconds. While you're in this dip too, leaders, make sure your shoulders are rolled back. It can be very tempting to kind of close up to protect your follower, but you want to make sure that your shoulders are nice and rolled back. You keep your chest open. That's what's going to make it look the smoothest. It's going to feel the most supportive for your follower, and it's also just going to be the most comfortable for you. That way you're not straining your back at all by tipping over in this direction, and you're not closing your partner off to potentially a wonderful picture moment if you are ending your first dance like this. So now, if you have any questions about the dip, please reach out. This one is it's pretty simple, but there are a lot of technicalities to it, and it can take a lot of practice. So if you don't feel comfortable throwing this dip right away, that's totally okay. Just practice it. Practice that send out, send in. Bring your partner's hands to your shoulders. And leaders, again, you want to slide that right foot out. We don't want to step out with that left foot, because if we step out, our partner's support system, which was our left leg, because they're stepping in between our leg, is completely gone. Actually, I do want to touch on the foot position. Now that I bring it up, I do want to touch a little bit on the feet. So when we do this dip and followers are stepping in towards their leaders, you actually want to be right here close to your leader's foot. We want the follower's right leg close to the leader's left leg. So that's where we're going to create that support system. If the follower's right leg is all the way over here, they're not going to feel as supported. We want this left leg to be kind of the backbone of their chair right here. So make sure, leaders, that you're not stepping out with that left leg. You're sliding out with that right foot. Followers, plant yourself between your followers' legs, pretty close to the left leg, and then go ahead and get into that dip. We do want to stay close, not just for the lean, but also for the dip. You're going to find support from your partner's body, so making sure that we are staying upright, staying close to our partner, that's going to be the key to feeling safe and supported. We also want to make sure, again, that we are creating a solid base, and that's for both the lift not the lift. We'll get there, don't worry. That's for the lean and the dip. We want to create a solid base that will help us feel really sturdy. If we are not doing too much with our lower body, but we're doing a lot with our upper body and getting really top heavy, such as leaning into your follower during that dip or leaning too far over during that lean, it's going to feel very unstable for both of you. So shoulders roll back, really engage your core, keep a solid frame, and then a sturdy base is what we want. We want to make sure that we are comfortable in this lunge. Also, when we dip, we want to make sure that we could stay in this position for a really long time. Followers, a quick way to test if you're doing the dip correctly is when you sit into this dip, you should be able to lift this leg. And again, not bringing this leg out and dipping backwards, because that can feel really unstable, and again, you will hurt your back. You should be sitting into it, and you should be able to lift your left leg in the air, and that's how you can test if you are properly holding yourself up during that dip. So again, let us know if you have any questions about the lean or the dip, and then we're going to move on to our final trick. This one, again, is commonly used as either something in the middle as a little highlight for the dance, maybe in a part where the music swells, or there's also, if you finish the dance and you want to end with a really dynamic move, then we will end with a basket lift. So this basket lift is super easy, really easy for partners of varying heights especially, and this is a good one to throw, again, at the end of your dance if you really want to add some pizzazz. We'll go ahead and demonstrate, and then we'll break it down. We're going to have the follower turn into this move, so this will require a little bit of spinning for my followers. So we'll go ahead and demonstrate, and then we'll break things down. 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Nice. So getting into this basket lift, and hopefully that didn't scratch up my mic too bad. Getting into this basket lift for my leaders, it's very simple because all you have to do is bring your partner in, and then you have to scoop up under their legs and go around. So I want to keep my, again, keeping a sturdy lower half. So I want to make sure that my knees are nice and relaxed. They're not locked like this. I'm giving my follower a little bit of a pull with my hand. We're going counterclockwise with that turn. And then once my partner is really close to me, they're going to put their arm around me. I'm going to support their back with my right hand and scoop with my left hand. The lower I get, the easier it's going to be for me. I don't want to try to do this and again lean over with my back. It's going to hurt. So I want to make sure that I'm supporting up and under their shoulders with my right arm, scooping up with my left arm, and then we're using that momentum to take us around in a counterclockwise circle. And you can do as many or as few as you'd like. For my followers, when you're going through this turn, you're going to start with your left foot. So we're going to do a quick little counterclockwise turn to get into this. Starting with the left foot, I go left, right, and then once I'm close to my partner, left arm's going to come up and over their shoulders, and I just kick my left foot up in the air. What I don't want to do is go left, right, and then just stop. Because your partner then is going to have no momentum to actually take you around in that circle. They're just going to have to pick you up and just kind of, okay, I guess we're going around. So you want to make sure you give them some momentum by making that turn, and then from there you can kick up with that left leg in the air. Again, for my followers, with your right arm, it is more of an accessory if you want to hold on to your partner. That I would suggest starting that way, starting with a little bit more of a closed position. And then as you feel more comfortable, it can come out to the side, it can go up and over your head, whatever feels most comfortable for you. But the key to this, again, as I've said before, being really close together. If we were to do that spin and then Allie were to be far away from me, there's no way I could get her up in the air. So if she's all the way out here and we're not connected, I can't scoop under that far. So you want to make sure, followers, that you're looking at your leader as you spin in, making sure that you are connecting with them and getting your arm up and over their shoulder. I like to call it your nook. Right here in your armpit, this section right here, you want this connected to your partner and you want to hold, kind of push down into your arm, making sure that you're supporting your upper body as well and holding a little bit of your weight. So this is kind of your nook. Make sure that you get your leader in your nook or else it's not going to feel comfortable for you. You're going to feel very unsafe. And again, you want to make sure that you're giving that momentum too going into it. So if you just kind of get here and you stop, it can feel a little unsettling to just have your feet swept out from under you. So if you give that extra jump and you're pushing down into your leader's shoulders, it's going to be a lot easier for you. For my leaders getting out of this, so once we're in our basket and we've gone around a couple of times, however many, you want to bend your legs and slowly lower this left arm. Still support your follower with your right arm. You don't want to just drop them because that would not be safe. So you want to make sure that you're lowering those your left arm, lowering your partner's legs, and then you can, as you stand up, relax, as you feel your partner is steadying themselves. So let's go ahead and do this one more time, and actually let's do it from a different angle. We don't have a whole lot of space here, so hopefully you'll be able to see our feet this entire time, but we'll go ahead and show you from a different angle. 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, once I'm in this too, for my leaders, I don't really have to bend once I'm here. If you bend, it might, yeah, it's gonna really sink into those glutes. So don't worry about bending once you're into the lift. You can really lock your legs once you get in there. And if you guys have any questions about the basket lift, just let us know. Like I said, it is one of the easier lifts that we do. If you haven't watched any of our other YouTube videos, we would definitely encourage that you do because you can see not just the basket lift, but a lot of other kinds of lifts as well. A lot of fun and easy lifts, and also some kind of challenging lifts. If you thought, this basket, super easy, we want something a little more challenging, go check out our videos and let us know. We would love to, if you're prepping for a wedding or event, to make a custom choreography for you, and that can have as many lifts as you want in it. So head to the link at the bottom of the page, weddingfirstdancelessons.com, to check out our custom choreography. Also check out that date night program because again, this will be posted there. You'll have access to this later. and all of our other videos. You can learn all kinds of styles like swing and foxtrot and waltz and salsa and bachata, and there are all of those accessible on our date night program. So it's a fun way to learn something new from the comfort of your own home. So let us know if you have any last minute questions. Otherwise, we will see you guys next time. We typically do these live streams once a month, so we will be back next month. I believe next month Allie won't be with me next month, but I will have Grace with me, and we're gonna do some transitioning between the foxtrot and the swing. So if you are part of our date night program and you've been learning the foxtrot, you've been learning the swing, we're gonna combine those so you can do two in one dance. And if you haven't been learning those, go sign up for our date night program, learn a couple steps in the foxtrot and in the swing, and then next month when we're back here, you will be able to connect those, and you'll be able to wow your friends and family if it's your first dance, or wow your friends and family if it's just an event or a party that you're going to. So let us know if you have any questions or if you need clarification on any of these steps. We'd be happy to answer you. Thank you so much for tuning in. This one was a really fun one for us, just because lifts and leans and dips and things like that are things that we do semi-often, but they're definitely a fun little bonus step for us that we don't get to do quite as often. So let us know if you have any questions, and thank you guys so much for tuning in.